Hey everybody, welcome to my channel and all the subscribers and watchers and everybody. Thank you so much for checking my Dead End character Guardians of Gloria. This is my first video where I'm actually using my voice. Prior to this I was just typing and it seems it was good, but I need to step it up to the next level. And so there has been requests like, what is my character build, why am I hitting so hard, and anybody versus me with the same BR range, I'm able to do a lot more damage output. Sometimes I even keep up with 2 levels higher when it comes to damage output. So just to go over my character gear and everything, so if you ever need to pause it to see it, you could definitely do that. So let's start off with the character. This is my character. This is actually my DPS build, not the PvP build. So my BR ranking is a little bit lower. It's a 5.16 million. The reason being is because I'm using this fox. This elemental fox is supposed to give me a boost in damage. So for example, the skill of the fox, for 10 seconds, once it's activated, I get a crit boost of 71% and a damage of 10%. It's not a great amount for the damage wise, but the crit wise it definitely is. Currently I'm not even at 100%, so this boosts my crit up, so I do guaranteed crit hits on monsters. So this is all self skill. It's just a booster. So if you have pets that do like additional damage, that's completely added to. So for example, once I activate this, I will swap out to a samurai and he will use all of his skills, and as he attacks it will be a crit and the damage is boosted by 10%. So this only lasts for 10 seconds, but the samurai lasts a lot longer, so it eventually dissipates. But in the meantime, while I am in the effects of the 10 seconds, I just spam out all of my skills, like the shield, the orb. Let me just see what the skill name is. The cyclone blast, the mantra shield, star chaser, genki bomb. So all that will be expended completely so that I have nothing left after end of 10 seconds. Then I just do regular hits and so forth. So now let's look at the stats. Currently have 9 million HP. I mean, sorry, 900,000 HP. My attack is at 40k. It's based on intelligence, which is 20%. I mean 22,000. I don't have too much endurance or physique or strength. And then there is some agility, and that's some of the stats that I can't even change because they're in specific gear sets. So my heavy is at 1583. Not really trying to go high or anything, but it is about 50%. Anything, as Ed explained, Ed for real, that anything above 50% is a diminishing return. So working on boosting the heavy attack is not really wise because of the expense. It takes a lot to get it to a much higher than 1500. I used to have 2500 for heavy, but I transferred some over to charge attack, so now I have 1000 charge attack. So in order to do that, I had my gear basically set up for heavy and crit. I have the damage boost and magic, but I could change the magic to heavy later, but I have to reforge the gear. So I'll skip that part for now. I'll leave it as is because it's not cheap. It is expensive. You need a lot of materials. So let's call it. So gear wise, you just want to focus on if there's a red stat possibility and if there's an orange stat possibility, and everything else you want to have all blues, but it's expensive to go with all that. So refine what you can and just get your heavy and charge attacks on all of your gears. Like that one is damage bonus is red, crit rate is orange, and the rest of them are just charge or heavy. And you can see all of my gear pretty much has the same thing. The only thing I need to work on is my cape, and it is very difficult to find a +2 skill. And I've seen a really good cape that have +2 on 2 different skills, and then it has the bonus in the charge or heavy attack. Unfortunately, I only have for agility, which I really can't change, attack, int, which is what I need, then just another attack percentage plus Kinky Bomb. I do have the secondary cape in case if I want to use it. This one does have Star Chaser +1 and charge attack, but it doesn't really do me any good. I mean, I need +2 skill, which is a lot better. So I usually this is my normal cape run that I use. As far as the advanced stats, let's see, my crit percentage is at 93%, so it's not really 100% yet, but it hopefully the Fox helps with the DPS part. My crit resist is at 86%. My hit, dodge, tenacity, penetration. Now this is an important topic, of course. 76% is, people say, oh, that's low for any game. Well, it is. But I had to do some compensation from my my Woofy, my Spearmon. So I had to drop it from 24% to a lot lower so that I can expend it to the other skills that I really need, which is heavy. So for example, where'd it go? So I dropped it to 20% so I can use the other skill points to get my charge or heavy up, which is what I did right here. So charge attack, I just want to have a minimum of 1,000 charge attack so I can take some hits and survive. That's the only reason. Other than that, I think charge attack is not really necessary, but some of them have a straight up charge attack build, which it helps them. Here I like attack speed. I just like to punch fast, that's all. I mean, most of the time I'm a burst type, so I expend all my skills, then I just stand there and punch. So for me to punch fast, it actually helps. So same attack speed I also have on the runes. I'll show you that later. Later on, maybe I'll boost the penetration even higher. The damage boost 42%. It's like a basic thing. Crit damage 34%, which is 184. So I'm not really a crit based build unless if I'm bursting. But some people have it much higher. I choose to just go with as is for now. Of course, got some good crit damage reduction. Then this debuff damage booster. I know Ed actually said like, well, he didn't really understand how that works, or he doesn't really care much for it because the system, how it contributes. To me, I have it at 94%. So I'm basically like a piece of a pie. Instead of focusing on one specific, I have a little bit of everything and at a higher range than normal. If I focused only on crit build, then I would be critting much higher and then crit damage much higher. But this one I'm just like all around, because when you do PvP, some people will have high crit damage reduction, some people will have high debuff damage reduction. To have both, it's difficult, but it is doable. But so either focus on one or a little bit of everything. So I'm that kind of guy, so a little bit of everything. So those are my stats right here. The rest of them are just not that important. So Spearmon, it's pretty low in level. It's only 210. If you look at the rankings, they're like well over 300. I'm just way far behind on that. But in the gear wise, you want to focus on debuff damage boost, because at one point I was a mage and I just kept it. So that's why the numbers are pretty high on debuff damage boost. Agility, endurance, and intelligence. Those are the three stats I want to focus on. Agility helps with the damage sometimes, and dodge, which sometimes not take a hit. So as you can see, endurance helps, agility and intelligence, that's all I want to focus on overall on my Spearmon gear. and you already seen the talents, how it's built. Now you see the gear already. The skills that I use setup is overall skill. I used to have a DPS versus PvP skill set. The DPS version will not have these subcategories that doesn't add additional damage. Like for example, this Cyclone Blast, it'll be 10 points here and 0 points here in the subcategory because it doesn't do any damage, it just slows. So there's no point in having it. Why do you ask if I don't put it even a single point? Because there's no need for it. On this DPS, I'm only focused on damage output. It has nothing to do with slowing things or reducing their damages. But this, on the other hand, adds 5% bonus damage. So this will be 10 here for this shield and 5 for the bonus damage. So as you can see, this is my overall PvP build, and PvE, which is my other one, I guess I'm not really putting points in it because I'm only using one. So for example, this is how I would build a DPS only. So even this crit damage reduction, I wouldn't even touch it. These 12 points, that's +2 skill, it does some amazing damage. This is 120 energy, it'll deter for 2 seconds, not needed. So this extra damage reduction, it helps, and then this extra gain in the energy also helps. And then on this one, you need this, otherwise you will be at close range. You only want 5 points into it. You don't really need more than that. And then this is the damage reduction. You really need just 1 point. You don't really need anything more than that. So I would just max out the other ones. And then, of course, you're gonna have extra skills just sitting around. So what do you want to do with them? That's when you can do damage reduction for your pets. This skill right here is the pet damage. You have to have maxed it out. This is going to give a boost to all your stats, increasing your damage. That's 50 points. And then this is your cooldown for the skills, which will help boost your damage on pet skills. So I have 50 points left. So I could use 30 here and 20 here, or 15. There's no realistic extra damage that any of these will do. So it's gonna be here. 10 points. 20 points left. So this is what I would do basically. Just make sure my pets are strong enough that they don't die. That's the important part also. So this would put me at 40,352 with the 516 BR. Now if I was to swap it to PvP, I get a little bit more boost. 40352. So practically the same because I just like playing it one specific skill type. As for the runes, let's see. I'm building this in Scarlet Naga because I want to get some attack percentage instead of damage, because I'm trying to figure out how that exactly works. But I prefer to have a 50k attack, which does major output compared to damage. I don't know, never seen that. I'm using Fancy Snow Princess for all of them. My main thing at one point was to have it all at debuff damage boost. But of course some of them have the intelligent boost, which helps. I'm eventually going to change to int and damage boost if possible. If not, just leave it as is for now. There's nothing too much you can really do at this point. And you can see the refines here. I have like 318 refines, 324 refines. They're not cheap, they're expensive. Then I have a couple of Alice's, and then fancy series for crit boost. And of course you can see all of my bottom stats below the skill. They're always either heavy crit, a heavy or charge or something that's different, except for Alice. She actually has penetration and I can't really change it. And then she does not have a fancy Alice, so I cannot grab any more additional stats. But all these other ones, fancy Night Guard, I'll have the substats. Even the Arch God, the substats, which, let me see, this right here, on the right hand side, they're all going to be charge or heavy, whichever I choose. This one, left side, all I want is the skills. I really don't care about anything else for this one. Then I fuse it together. Fusing is also the key, even my Shinobi. The way it's fused is important. Yes, I do have a couple of stats in endurance and I have to change that later. Now for my third page, well, hold on, second page, then Dracula for damage boost, which I might replace it for Scarlet Naga later, and then Red Lotus for, I guess, true damage reduction or damage reduction. If you look at the preview, you'll tell you what it's exactly for. True damage reduction and then damage reduction. But also 3% is hard to get. If you get Celestial, fancy Celestial, they're for like the debuff damage boost. So it's a little bit of game. You want to play with which one you want. On here, it's the crit damage reduction, 8%. And you can get up to 4, I believe. But I could be wrong. There's 1, 2, 3 crit damage reduction, but it could be more. Yeah, if you look at Snow Princess, she has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6. 3, 4, 5. So she could possibly have 6 lines of debuff damage boost. So he might have 6 lines of crit damage reduction. I don't think I want to find out. Even though look at that, 300 time refinement, I still don't have a good one. 344. These guys are insane. On my third page, of course, Twilight Spirit. There's nothing rune that's better than this for intelligence percentage boost. This guy I gotta work on later. He's just there. Alice, of course, and then Dracula for damage boost. A fancy shiny white. I know he's a physical type, but he has debuff damage boost, and for me, it rolled out perfectly when it comes to this. I mean, look at that. It's just 4 stats of that. Let me see what else he has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stats of it, 5 lines of it. It's just attack and debuff damage boost. I can use him as a regular, but there's no skill that I can use from him, which is Rampage or Dragon Slay. Both are useless to me for the magic type. I gotta bump her up as well, but I got that nice int percentage on all 3 of them. That's what the important part is. She can actually give out 7% int, which is hard to get. So I'll leave it for now. King Arthur has the other 3 legendary runes, but they're all there just for that base stats. Shinobi, on the other hand, I need the skills as well. And Valkyrie is just a heavy skill. Heavy and charge attack. That's my runes. And then my Spearmon, you guys already saw. My Spearmon's capable of artifact. I don't really work too much on it because it's a really expensive piece to work it. But I am saving up resources and eventually I'll have enough. The main skill that I use here for DPS is this one, Hot Pursuit. And as you get closer to the boss, imagine yourself 1 leap away and then just leap. Because once you leap, you stop and then you start your DP damage with this boosted. So you get an additional boost for attack increase by 14%, which is amazing. If I'm in PvP, I usually use this guy, which is Shadow Dodge. At the beginning of the fight, I run a little bit and then use it right when I'm seeing the opponent, and then the opponent attacks me with all of their might. For 1.7 seconds, I don't take any damage, so it does fool sometimes. trust me. Sometimes I don't use this and I just go straight to the other one. Oops. Straight to this one, so that as the fight starts, I leap, run forward fast as I can to the other side of the screen, just start wailing on the opponent. Surprise. Now on the artifact, there is a second page for the boots. Now this is something, once you're leveled up, so it's level 21, then you get this page where you can boost based on the daily, what is that, treasure, no, not that one, a treasure land. So, oh, somebody won. So in treasure land, you will get stuff like this. Now I don't see this dropping anymore. I don't know what happened. Maybe they stopped it. But you need these boots to boost, and then these star stones to upgrade this. So once you upgrade it, it's gonna ask for gold and star stone. So play with it until you can get one diamond on the statue one. For me, I want heavy, so I made sure all the heavies are there. To have 2 stats, it's pretty difficult. And then on the first one, I have 3 stats, luckily, and to my surprise, that's great. I got that. And eventually, you want to have 2. So this is definitely a freebie because you can get it from that treasure lot and just boost it. Pet gear. This is a complicated one. For the DPS, when the fox is out, all I have is this, and it just boosts my character attack, and I don't really need a huge thing for this guy because it's just there to boost me so I can do my damage output much faster. My main pet is the fairy, Eternal Fire. She's fully iced out. She's fully iced out with her good skills. And what kind of skill you want to achieve here is the actual loyalty skill. And any other red stat you can get, I mean, it doesn't really matter. If you get a red attack, if you focus on attack or HP or int, whichever you want. So my samurai, on the other hand, he's almost fully maxed out. He's missing a couple of those dots to be maxed out. I think just the HP one. Everything else is already maxed out. So once I'm done with him, then I'll work on my Eternal Flame. So the reason I'm actually choosing this Fire Shroud is because it heals and damages at the same time. So I have a chance to, if my HP drops, I have a chance to come back and seek revenge. But this one is just pure damage. In any case, my samurai, if you can notice, all of them will have the int aptitude. Even though it's low for now, I want it because that's the whole point. I'm int based and I have a lot of int, and having that helps. And then my final dragon has also int aptitude. I'm gonna have to get the int aptitude on this one too, the third skill. But overall, yeah, so the main pet that you use the most, especially martial, anywhere there's only one pet allowed, the main pet is gonna be something you'll be using for everything. You gotta have to have it iced out or lightning or something to make sure she hits hard and protects you at the same time. My farmhouse, it's no, don't even bother. it's empty. A lot of people use it. Great for you guys. You guys get a lot of items there that are in gold that I don't ever use it for. Ages, let's see. For me, I'm still thinking I need to get that up, but on my modification, I have it fully modified. And then I can go to evolve. So this is something not many people can see. As you can see, same thing here as that the artifact boots. Try to get as much dots as possible for the stats. And as you can see, I have 2 for everything on the heavy and charge. Luckily I got 3 on the first one and 3 on the second one. And it's not cheap. I mean, you really have to spend 25 cubes just to get a chance to see if you get three stat bonus. But I got lucky with this one, or I just expended too much of orbs. So this is combo number 2, is just in case if you want to work on this and you got better stats, then you can put this on. But as you can see, combo number 1's better to get 3 stats. I don't know if there's a chance you can get all 5 stats, but I wouldn't doubt it. My gear, as you can see, endurance, icy shield. So you can actually increase your icy shield here even further by getting the skill. So heavy here, icy shield. Here is just aegis attacks, debuff damage, heavy attacks. So you can get those stats here as well. So the more heavy, more int, more attacks you have, the better. For the cards wise, it's the basic cards, nothing fancy, all that, the usual one. These are, anybody can peek all these and see. But if you're damage inclined, you want this Holy War God, because his base stat is attack. So you want to have it on all 3 levels. As you can see, I have him on all 3 levels. And I have a spare I'm working on. He has a good amount of heavy, but he's low on attack. So I'm trying to compare which one to use. And it's just hard for the heavy one to get in when the attack is so high. Alright, now for the elemental. I have one of these guys popped out with the bonus dragon here, dragon god as well. But some people have all 3 of these with the what is that? I think it's a spirit, elemental spirit cash item. So me, I only have it on one of them, and my skills are there. It's not quite high. And then as for the skills, it needs a lot of work. So as you can see, but everything you put on these sub ones does increase your BR, just so you know. Okay, so if you max it out to +2 on everything, yeah, it'll boost your BR. It'll just be a BR boost, and if it has HP on it, yeah, it's gonna boost your HP. So don't take it likely that that's it. These gonna be useless. So they are useful. They will help you boost your BR. And then the main one that's out, it's gonna be your main one that you're working on. And I believe that's all I have for a character when it comes to how they play. So my skill setup is basically the mantra shield, cyclone, Genki bomb, and star chaser. Just understand, there are some things when it comes to PvP on how to use these skills. So mantra shield always gotta go first, because this will give you a boost in like a shield HP that's temporary, but also increases your damage by 5%. So keeping this up as much as possible will help you. And then when you're within a certain range, you want to keep that person there. That's when you use the manual control. Let's just call that a vortex. It'll keep them there while you are manually punching them. That's the whole point of that skill. And if you want them to stay there while you run away, you can do that. And you can wait a few more seconds to for the cooldown of your shield, activate the shield, then go back at them. And that's the strategy. The offensive side is to hold your opponent there while you wail on them. The defensive side is to use it and run away. To, you know, if it's like a 2-3 second cooldown, it helps a lot. Trust me, 2-3 seconds is a lot. And then your star chaser skill is basically a punch. What it does is it knocks back. So if you cast this and the person who's running at you, you can smack them and they'll go right back into that whirlwind, so they can take more damage. So the way I use is basically shield, mantra to hold them in place, and then the Genki bomb, keep them there, and then stun them, so the full effect of that vortex will continue to hit for a while, and then knock them back, then run away, or keep on wailing on them. So that's the way I usually play. Is, for example, if the opponent has the flame wielder, the wheel that comes at you, well, you can knock it back. So if they come at you, knock it back, and just stand there like, come on, what happened? So the person will get confused, and they usually like, oh, hey, what happened? Why am I knocked back? And not many characters can do that, but this guy definitely can. Let's see, maybe I will try and do a duel to see if I can show you. Oh, did it end? I think it ended, but for the bounty. Okay, I cannot find bounty. Let me see if I can see key, so I can give you an example how this works. I like building PvP characters the most, so these two are playing. There's no way it can be the 7k. I mean 7 million BR. 4.5.
Remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return.
Oh man, assassins are your worst enemies because they hurt a lot. Try to keep away as much as you can. That's the way you play with this guy. Let me just make a room. Maybe somebody will come by and want to duel me. Leave. Create a room. Unlimited BR. Let's see if anybody wants to come by, so I can show you. Oh wait, I need to change to my dragon. Oh, play setup is Phoenix, Dragon, Samurai. And so I have Phoenix. Well, this will be my first one. Know what is coming. Okay, that's fine. Well, there you have it, guys. That's my first video. Thank you for watching all the way to this end, and hopefully if you guys have any questions, you could definitely ask me, text me, message me in the chat, whichever. Yeah, as you can see, my BR's 5.35 mil with the PvP style. Damage is attack is up a little bit, and that's pretty much the way you play this game. And trust me, this character is fun to play with when it comes to PvP, because this is all about crowd control, and this guy has a lot of control when it comes to PvP. So if you see my other guild videos or league videos, you'll see why I'm doing so much more damage, because I'm actually controlling the character where they're going, and then controlling my opponent where they're going. So assassins are really good at that if you know how to use them really well. I used to be an assassin. Yeah, they're hard to use. They're like glass cannons, but they could definitely become an invincible type if you build it right. But for now, in the magic class, this is all we have. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Bye bye. See you guys next time.